Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Dwarf Fortress with Nerdstalgic. That's me. We started our fortress a few episodes ago, and basically the kind of what we're going by here, the RP-ish sort of genesis of this fortress is that our old fortress, if you watched the last series that we put out, was destroyed by a forgotten beast who came from the depths and was flinging fireballs and basically hell incarnate. And the last image that we had of the fortress was of the fortress's champion, Crundle Thunder, so named because he was a badass Crundle Slayer Supreme, standing on top of a table, like with his shield up, fending off, the fiery blasts of this beast. And what we've decided is that the group of 7 dwarves here are religious zealots that have been led by Crundle Thunder into this new land. And we're going to be doing some different things here. Basically, our goal is to have a fortress that is pretty much all, or actually is all, on one floor. The only exceptions to that being we will be digging down for mining purposes to find, ores and gems, and we might pasture some animals underground, because that's something I've been thinking about doing as well, and it's something I haven't done before. So, yeah, we're also going to be doing some other small things too, like we're going to try to not use auto labor, etc., etc. So, as you can see, we spent the last episode doing a lot of planning, because since we have a very limited amount of space to work with due to our goals, we want to make sure that the way that we're heading is a good direction. We need to make sure all of the space that we're using is not wasted. So something that I think is very common in a lot of my other fortresses is that we have a lot of space that we just kind of throw things down willy-nilly where we feel like it. And I'm enjoying the fact about this challenge that we're having to be a little bit more, we're having to kind of plan things a little bit more, so a little bit better. All right, so let's, we'll connect this up. So basically what we have here is we have the start of a, like a living quarters, and then we have our workshops getting rolling over here. Now, what we're probably going to do at first here is we're going to go ahead and remove designation, say like that. And I mean, we'll know, but basically the reason we're doing that is because we don't need all this yet. And if we were to dig out all of this along with everything else that we need, our miners are going to be so super busy that it's just going to be a big waste. And we're probably going to do the same thing over here. Maybe like this. Just so we don't, dig out things that we just absolutely don't need. The most important thing for us to get going right now is we need a few spaces for workshops, we need a little bit of stockpile room, and we need some bedrooms. And then after that, we can move on and set up like a kitchen area, which I'm thinking this looks really good. This looks like a really, really good spot to put a kitchen. So let's just kind of let's just see. How would it look, So we got all this empty space here to work with. Oops. Would help if I hit the right key. So we've got all this empty space here to work with. We obviously don't need that all to be a dining room. We don't need that big of a dining room. And we are going to want to put probably we're going to want at least our workshop for our kitchen and our still in this area. And I usually like to put my fishery here too. So let's think about it. What if we did something like this? Now with the kitchen, I don't necessarily care about it being 5x5. I'm fine with it being 3x3. So what if we did like this? So that could be our kitchen. And I normally like to put the still kind of opposite of it, so we'll do kind of a similar thing here. Actually, why am I doing that? I'm just like copying it, but it doesn't need to be a copy. Eee. I'm a dummy. Okay. So like that. There. And we'll have a doorway there. So just like that. So there's our still. There's our kitchen. And then, like I said, usually next to the kitchen I like to put the fishery. So we'll do something like this. Yeah. And then the real question now is, where do we want to put the stockpile? Because we could put a temporary stockpile here, or we could put smaller stockpiles here and then have a larger stockpile for food located elsewhere. Because this isn't going to be enough space for food and drink stockpiles. You guys have seen my fortresses before. You know that we do acquire a lot of drink and a lot of food. Now, we might actually trade some prepared meals. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, that's something, normally we just sit on them and we just, you know, like have tons of them. But we could start selling them because apparently they're worth pretty good money from what I understand. But I do like the idea of having... I do like the idea of having a stockpile close to my still for plump helmets. I do like the idea of having a stockpile close to my kitchen and my still for rock pots. So what we could do is we could do something like this. I didn't bother counting out those squares. What's this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that could be a stockpile, like just a kind of a temporary stockpile. We won't worry about separating it with walls, I don't think. And then the rest of this would be our dining room, our dining hall. Now, something that I like to do with my dining hall, and this is just me, you know, just kind of like, I don't know, silliness, really, but I think it's kind of fun to do, is I really like to do kind of like pillars. So I like to do things like this. In my dining hall. That's not even. Yeah, it needs to be even. Well, I just made it worse. Okay, so that would be there. Like this, and this, and that. And then we would go across here, and like that. And then what I normally do is I would like put statues here. Just for some added flavor. But you could do other things too. You could put like caged animals here. Like exotic animals. You don't just want to put like any animal, like a, you know, a caged rat or something. Wouldn't be any good. You want exotic animals to be in here because the whole reason that you have a dining room set up this way is so that the dwarves can come in and they get basically, it's really easy to make a legendary dining room that will really improve the mood of your dwarves. And then if they walk in and they see like awesome statues and they see like exotic animals, they get really pumped up and happy, and that's really cool. And then what we'll do is we will connect probably something that I enjoy doing. How many spaces is this? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. So like this, like that. I think that would be right? 6 and 5. No. But I like the idea, actually. How about this? How about we do this then? Like that. like that right there. And then over here, we can offset it like that. Is that offset? Yeah, it is. Okay. I like that. I think I like that. But we're not going to want to dig that out just yet. We don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need it just yet. But we will soon. And then we'll... I don't know where we're going to put the other stockpiles. I guess that'll kind of be something that'll come to me, you know, as we kind of dig out. We've already got a lot of digging to do. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we're ready to start some digging. Yeah. And we're going to want to build a trade depot pretty quick, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, we said we're going to put it, like, I think here. That's what we're thinking. Putting it right in here. I think that's a pretty good idea. And we'll use the chert, since it's handy. And we're also going to put, we said we were going to put, where did we put that? There it is. So we're going to put our butcher over here. Maybe like right here. I think that's a pretty good place. And just use the chert. Depending on how much marble we have, it might be pretty cool to build things out of marble. Like we could build a lot of our outdoor structures out of marble. That would be fun. So I think everybody should be pretty busy at this point. Of course, our miners are definitely going to be busy. Let's see, we've got Jirafa is going to be busy very, very soon. Our carpenter is also going to be busy very, very soon. So I'm not super duper concerned with getting them like hooked up at this point, because we're going to be building beds and we're going to be building, you know, chairs and doors and tables very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. Okay, our trade depot is done. So now we have 3 idlers, huh? Armor, mason, and carpenter. We could have them go and pick some plants. We could. Did we already get done chopping down the trees? I guess we did. Yeah, look at all that. Look at all that. Well, I guess while we're kind of waiting, we can chop down some more trees. That'll give somebody a little bit of something to do. It doesn't really look like we have a lot of vegetation here to gather. We can gather some plants. Just do something like that. Yeah. And then let's go into our kitchen screen here, and plump helmets, do not cook them, please. And do not cook with our drinks either. Very good. Okay. Oh, we probably have to, we didn't set anybody to gather. So that would be plant gathering. So if we read our dwarves, we can see that Jirafa and Shelly are both idle. So we will temporarily give them plant gathering to give them something to do. And then when we need them, we can just say, oh, you know, we were just kidding. You're not really plant gatherers. Wow, so much marble. On the very first, I mean, you know, hey, that's awesome though. That's awesome that we found marble on the very first floor. I mean, we're gonna dig down looking for metal, but still. What's that? Oh, okay. They must have, this is the same graphics pack that I've always been using, as far as I know. As far as I know, I mean, let me look at my lazy noob pack here. Yeah. I think. Same one I've always used, Phobos. If that's how you say Phobos, I don't know. You guys probably know better than I do. But apparently they changed some things. Looks like the rock piles are different. This is different. The trees are different. You know, I thought something looked different with the trees, but... Rhino lizards abounding. What do we got here? Great horned owl? Oh, I'd love to catch that. I'd love to catch that owl. That would be so cool to have like an owl up in the fortress. You know, hooting and shit. Have it like perched right above the gate so that when people come, they'll be like, that owl is looking at me. Plus, just owls are cool in general. I think they're neat birds, but I'm kind of an animal lover, so yeah. I kind of tend to, most animals I kind of tend to really like. Outside of things like possums, I'm not really a big fan of possums. They're just too ugly. They're absolutely too ugly, and they're not of the type that they're so ugly that they're cute. You know, there are some animals that are just so ugly that they're cute. You know, like a hippopotamus is so ugly that it's cute, or you know, like an elephant. Although elephants really aren't that ugly, they're just big. You know, we don't need to conflate big with ugly, because you know that's a false equivocation. All right, so looks like we've got our stockpile area kind of has come together. Man, with the way that they've changed these rocks, we're definitely going to have some kind of a rock stockpile somewhere. Definitely, because there are a lot. They're more of an eyesore now. I mean, actually, they look better. I think they look better this way than they did in the old graphic pack, but they just seem more obtrusive. So I'm gonna let this get completely dug out before we do any like designating with stockpiles, any workshops or anything, because I want to be able to like really plan out these things, like, you know, we're going to put this here and this is why we're going to do that, rather than just saying, oh, this is a fine spot. No job. Okay, so we cut down all those trees and we gathered all those plants. Let's cut down some more trees. Let's really piss the elves off. I mean, we might as well do it, because we know we're going to need the wood at some point for, you know, this, that, and the other. Got some plants up here we can gather, guys. You can come gather plants up here, okay? What's up here? Anything? Not much. Not much at all. So that's probably like the first real departure from what I kind of envisioned. I really wanted a little bit more trees and a little bit more plants, because, you know, I'm wanting to do some above ground farming for some different things. I want to have some different dyes available for us in case we want to dye some clothes. So, all right, well, we're almost done mining everything out. We've only got this little corridor over here left, and we can kind of look at our workshops here. So, the very first workshop we're going to need to get down is going to be we simply want to get down a carpenter's workshop. We need a carpenter's workshop, we need a mason's workshop, and we need a mechanic's workshop. The carpenter's workshop because we want beds. The mason's workshop because we need a desk and a chair ASAP. And the mechanic's workshop because we need mechanisms, but also because we're going to sell mechanisms in our fortress. At least that's going to be one of the things that we sell, especially at first. So, I guess what we'll do is, let's see here. Let's just drop the carpenter's workshop in right here. And we'll make it out of chert. Let's save the marble. Let's save the marble for like when we really know that we want to use it. And then, you know, we don't have a lot of space here to deal with. So I guess what we can do is we can put the mason's workshop here. And we use chert. And then we'll put the mechanic's workshop behind the mason's workshop. Since they both use stone, kind of makes sense. And then we'll make a stockpile around each of them. make a stockpile around each of them. So we'll do a stone stockpile here and a stone stockpile here. And then around this, we'll put a wood stockpile. And then we need some stockpiles up here too. So we're going to need a stockpile for mechanisms. We're going to need a stockpile for furniture. We're going to need a stockpile for finished goods. So let's see. Mechanisms. Let's see. Okay, mechanisms are probably under... They probably should be under finished goods, but I bet they're under furniture storage. Do we really need that much space for mechanisms? I'd be able to get away with like this. Maybe even this at first. It kind of depends on whether mechanisms can be stored in bins. So I'm going to turn on max bins, no barrels. And let's see. Nothing made of metal. And then... Okay, so yeah, mechanisms is under furniture. So let's block all, and then just do mechanisms, and we'll permit. Well, shit. That's fine. That's actually fine. It's fine. Permit. So basically, we've got stone or clay mechanisms. That's what we've got it going right now. Okay, that works. And then we need another stockpile for legitimate furniture. That one can be a little bit bigger, so we'll make that one just nice and big. And let's forbid out metal, forbid out mechanisms, beds, ballista parts, catapult parts. Bins, no. Boxes and bags, no. Siege ammo, barrels, no. Sandbags, no. Okay. That's good for that. And yeah, if it can go in bins, that's fine. And then we need one more for beds. It doesn't have to be too big. In fact, we could probably just go like over here. And now we'll probably have to make it a little bit bigger down the road. Might have to expand it out. Just depends. So the only thing we're going to allow here is we'll just forbid and allow beds. You know what? Let's make it bigger. Let's make it bigger. So let's remove this. We'll remove this area. Okay, now we're gonna make it bigger, and this is why we're gonna make it bigger, is because there are other things besides beds that we're going to allow in here. As a matter of fact, let's just change up the way that we're gonna do this completely. That's gonna be a little too small for what I'm thinking. So we will go across, and I'm going to corpses, really. I'm going to allow beds. Basically anything that's made of wood can go in here. So buckets, bins, no, I don't think that. Barrels, yes. No sandbags. Okay, that should be good. That should be good for what we're looking for. And I'm probably gonna wait to open up the rest of this to get mined out until we get everything hauled, because a lot of our hauling is going to be done by our miners, because our mason is about to be really busy. Our carpenter is also about to be really busy. So let's go ahead and turn off hauling on the carpenter. And then also no, you can be a hauler still. Mason, our carpenter, and who's our mechanic? Gulgnak. Gulgnak is about to be really busy. In fact, Gulgnak is probably going to be the busiest of all. I need you to become a master mechanic, so that you make masterwork mechanisms and we make money out the wazoo. That's your goal, Gulgnak. Don't let me down. Do not fail me. Okay, so I think this is a pretty good start for us. I really like the way the fortress is kind of looking. I like how tight it is. You know, I like the tightness of the fortress and how everything's going to be, you know, laid out so close together and well thought out. I'm enjoying that. If you guys have any ideas of, you know, like placement for things and, you know, where you would like to see things in the future, shoot them at me. You know, let me know in the comments what you think would make sense, and I'll be sure to take that into account. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'll do it, but I do really appreciate all of your comments, and you know, I have not forgotten about the people that have not gotten dwarves in yet. I have a list here of people who still need to be put in. I've got a Bresden, a Thorum, an Arnob, and a Winthrop. So I've got 4 more people. Whenever we get a new migrant wave, I'll be able to get most of you in. The only person who won't be going in immediately would be Thoram, and that's because he has an idea for what he wants his character to be, and it's going to be a militia person. So we have to wait till we actually make a militia. Or, you know, if we get somebody with some combat ability, we know that they're going to be in the militia, we could go ahead and just say, yeah, hey, you're it, you know. So anyways, thank you guys so much for you know, coming out and supporting the series. It means a lot to me, and all the likes, comments, shares, very big deal. It increases visibility of the series, which gets more people involved and helps build our community that we're growing here. And yeah, I think we've got a nice little community of people. So it's because of you guys. You guys are what makes this special. So anyways, thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, game on.